Coming to you live from historic Crocker Field here in downtown Fitchburg, Massachusetts, it is Fitchburg Red Raider football on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bolak. And Dan, it is the first Raider home game of the season, always one of our favorite games of the year.
Always a special time, waiting all those months to see the Red Raiders come back to Crocker Field. It's always a privilege to get to call games from Crocker Field, and tonight will be the first of 5 regular season games from Crocker Field this season.
Red Raiders will play host to the Griffins of Greater Lowell Tech. They were 8-3 last year. Both of these teams starting off 0-1 with their first games of the season. Fitchburg went on the road and fell. Greater Lowell lost as well.
Yep, for the Red and Gray, they lost 34-8 in the swamp of Groton Dunstable, falling to the Crusaders / North Middlesex, if you will, since after all, those two teams are now co-oping together. Fitchburg didn't have a particularly good time against North Middlesex last year, and a lot of those players who made them pay again in the season opener last week, as the Raiders were held to just 92 yards of offense, gave up over 450 of their own. Jerome Best did get a touchdown, capped off a 9-play, 75-yard scoring drive with a 1-yard plunge, found Cole Lashua for a 2-point conversion, the first Raider 2-point conversion, in fact, since Thanksgiving 2022. But the Raiders just didn't have answers for the newly combined Greater Groton Dunstable North Middlesex side.
And for fans who have been watching Fitchburg for a number of years, particularly last year, you hear, hey, Jerome Best scored a touchdown. That sounds about right. He's been doing that for a while for the Red Raiders. Saying that he found Cole Lashua on the 2-point conversion might raise a couple of eyebrows. It might make you think that he's perhaps a quarterback now. And yes, indeed, Dan, Jerome Best has transitioned to become the starting quarterback of the Red Raiders.
Yes, Zacchaeus Collins, after 2 fine years with the Raiders, has moved on to St. John's, and he's a wide receiver now for the Pioneers. So with that loss, Jerome Best, who basically was number 2 on the depth chart in terms of quarterbacking, has had to transition into that role as a quarterback. And he's done pretty well in that role. I mean, he looks comfortable in that. He got a chance to run some plays over the last year or so out of the quarterback roles, switching back and forth with Collins. So he's got a bit of that experience. Of course, it's a very young team for the Raiders this year. They have a 56-player roster with just 20 upperclassmen. In fact, 24 freshmen, a number of which played last year junior varsity.
That valuable experience on the JV side, continuing for them as they get maybe a bit more playing time as freshmen. It's a good young class. You mentioned Cole Lashua. A lot of folks, a lot of buzz developing around him, but there are a number of talented freshmen on this Red Raider team.
Yep, we're definitely going to be seeing players like Jacoby Cutler on defense, Angel Lara on offense as freshmen contributing. Multiple freshmen are going to be starting for the Red Raiders. It is a pretty young team, and a number of those players who got that JV experience last year when the Raiders got a mid-level waiver to allow 8th graders to play on the junior varsity side, give them some valuable experience, let them stand on the sidelines on Friday nights and watch. They weren't allowed to play because the mid-level waiver only allowed them to play JV. But getting some of that experience, really getting integrated with the team, it's something that's definitely going to help down the line as this team continues to build and grow.
You mentioned the young contributors, the freshmen for the Red Raiders. Dan, let's together name every single freshman who is on the listed roster for Greater Lowell Tech, beginning now. This has been every single freshman that is listed on the roster for Greater Lowell Tech. Thank you for your time.
Yep, 71 players that Greater Lowell's brought with them, 22 seniors, 18 juniors, and 31 sophomores. They are not dressing any freshmen.
We mentioned they were 8-3 last year, fell 35-7 to a very talented North Reading side in their first game.
Yeah. That one, it was close a little early. It was 7-0 to North Reading, and Greater Lowell was able to get a 67-yard touchdown strike from Cam Rye to Jaden Rosa. That tied the score at 7 from the Stephen Schwang kick, but after that, the Hornets took over that contest, got the next 4 scores, won at 35-7. According to the huddle recap, the final yardage was 280 for North Reading and 189 yards for Greater Lowell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to historic Crocker Field for tonight's matchup featuring...
See the Red Raiders on the far side of the field tonight. That's a bit of a different look.
It is a little bit of a different look. We've been used to seeing them on the near side historically, but because of the way that Crocker Field is laid out, you get a lot more space to work with, I guess, if you're on that far sideline. So I guess that might be part of the logic of moving the Raiders over to the far side of the field.
It also just makes a little bit of sense from the clubhouse perspective. The Raiders have their clubhouse tucked off to the upper right-hand side of the field. The visiting clubhouse is underneath the stands here at Crocker Field, so teams always had to switch ends as they were coming out of the locker rooms. That is now a thing of the past.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I remember, at Fitchburg State, there was a year where they switched sidelines.
There was. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It didn't really work out there, but I think it works out well here.
It makes intuitive sense for Fitchburg. You do lose, obviously, the home fans being right at your back, that little bit of extra motivation. Gives us a better shot of the Fitchburg sideline, though, so maybe it was driven by FATV. Did we lobby for that? I probably shouldn't introduce the thought that we lobbied for that, but maybe we lobbied for that. I don't know.
If we lobbied for it, nobody told me.
We do want to mention, folks, that if you are in Fitchburg, absolutely come on down to Crocker Field at the corner of Circle and Broad. But if you know anyone who is in the greater Lowell area or anywhere in the world, you can watch FATV's programming for free on your phone via the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, or on your Fire TV, Roku, or Apple TV devices. And, of course, streaming online at fatv.org. Just visit fatv.org/watch-FATV. to learn more.
Captains for Greater Lowell are Cam Rye, Lennox Ramos, Andre Restrepo, Sam Newberry, and Brian Diarujo. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, it's Chris Rivera, Cassiano Pedroza, and Masango Amate Nagabe. I also noticed that Mr. Ramos of the Greater Lowell side is in street clothes tonight.
Likely not participating. I don't think they let you wear sweatpants on the field.
Not
if
advisable.
They do, they make you pull them up, to be honest. But
second half.
The Griffins, as you heard, have won the toss and deferred, so the Red Raiders will get the ball to begin the game. And they will get it from the right side.
Pittsburgh's going to receive to start the game. Shake hands. Good luck, fellas.
And with the instructions from our referee, Rip Charters, we'll be getting ready for week 2 of the 2025 MIAA football season, and the first home game of 5 regular season contests plus Thanksgiving to be played at historic Crocker Field this year.
Beautiful night for football under the lights here in Fitchburg. We are moments away from the Red Raiders home opener. Sun is just starting to set, the lights are on.
It's great football weather. It's a great night for football.
It really is. Like we said at the beginning, Dan, home opener here at Crocker Field, always one of our favorite games of the season. It is just an immense privilege to be able to bring you this game. We will step aside right now for our national anthem. It is Fitchburg Red Raider football here on FATV.
Playing of our national anthem, brought to you by the Fitchburg High School Marching Band.
Fitchburg High School Red Raider football here on FATV. I'm John Gergety, joined as always by Dan Bolak. We are getting ready for kickoff on the Raiders' first home game of the season as they take on the Griffins of Greater Lowell Tech.
And this is a matchup that I imagine has not shown up very much in the record books. I don't believe these two teams have met in tackle football. Mr. Sweeney, the great historian of Fitchburg High sports, tells me that that is the case, that these two teams have not met in tackle football, but I specifically say the words tackle football because I know in 2024 these two teams met, in fact, right here at Crocker Field in flag football. As Greater Lowell and Fitchburg were in the same division in 2024, in the same region for flag football. That was girls flag football, and the two teams split their two meetings, with Fitchburg winning the game here and Greater Lowell winning the game elsewhere.
Griffins in the white jerseys with yellow pants. Raiders in the brick and pewter, as is their custom. It's a short squibbing kick, popped up and caught at the Raider 48-yard line. Chris Rivera is very much aware of the potential for that, and he brings it in. Good field position for Fitchburg as they start their first drive.
That was very interesting. They effectively tried an onside kick there, is what they tried to do. And Rivera, being one of the surest hands on the Raiders, was ready for it, just gobbled that straight in. And the Raiders will have great field position to start this contest.
First and 10, Fitchburg at their own 48-yard line. We mentioned Jerome Best is the quarterback now. He goes from the pistol. Fumble on the exchange. Best picks it up and whistles blow. They're going to say that Best's knee was down when he picked up the ball. Probably works out for Fitchburg as he was going to lose a couple trying to scramble with it. But not a good start for the Raiders, Dan. They lose 4 on their first play.
Just had a bit of trouble with the exchange trying to get that to Jonathan Torres. And Best, as you can see, his knee was clearly on the ground as he tried to pick up that football. It is a loss of 4 yards straight away.
Looked like they wanted to fake it to the fullback Landon Hester and then pull back and hand to Torres. But Hester just ran into the football, knocked it loose from the hands of Best. And now it's second down 14. Handoff goes to the right side. Picking up a couple of yards for Fitchburg. That's Angel Lara, freshman, with his first carry of the game.
Lara had a number of carries last week against Grand Dunstable. It feels like it's going to be a challenge for me to say Grand Dunstable when I mean Greater Lowell and vice versa, although both of those schools do share one particular community. Both of them get students from Dunstable.
Makes sense.
But anyway, Lara did have a number of carries, but the Grand Dunstable line proved itself to be quite strong. A 2-yard gain for Lara on second down.
Third down and 11. Motion man to the far side is Laguerre. Best rolls right, looking to throw, chucks it deep. One-on-one coverage and pass floats out of bounds. Well defended downfield by Jaden Rosa. We're trying to hit Cole Lashua on the deep shot. Best's pass just a little bit off target. Fitchburg High got really good field position after recovering the onside kick attempt, but they go 3 and out. They'll have to punt.
Best was able to generate some time and loft that ball downfield. Just got a little bit too much airtime on it. I think even if Lashua had pulled that one in, he would not have been in bounds.
Cole Lashua was the intended receiver at the Greater Lowell 20. He walks all the way back to his own 35 to receive this punt. Gets it away, low line drive kick, taken in at about the 22-yard line. And brought down at the 38 is Jaden Rosa. Actually, excuse me, that was Javian Lazou on the return for the Griffins. 7s look a lot like 1s, don't you know?
Yeah, I would have guessed it was 7 too.
Lazou gets away from Jacoby Cutler, gets a block, picks up some good yardage on the return. It'll be first and 10 for the Griffins at their own 38-yard line. 10:25 to go here, first quarter. Scoreless here at Crocker Field. Griffins will go from the pistol. 2 upbacks and a running back behind the quarterback. Handoff goes to the right side. Plenty of space there. Stiff arms a man at midfield. Dragged down at the 43-yard line. Great run for Jamie Cirillo, the senior. He gets into Fitchburg territory with his first carry of the game.
Obviously a run-heavy formation the way they set up, and Cirillo just able to get out to that right side, stiff arms Torres, but he's able to stay with it and get that tackle.
Cam Rye is the quarterback for the Griffins. See there's Cirillo. So it's a pistol formation basically with two fullbacks, or deep set tight ends. Play fake, Rye will keep it himself, try the left side, runs parallel to the line of scrimmage, now commits to the run. He's brought down after a gain of a couple at the 40-yard line. Good defense there by Jonathan Torres. Dan, I think Rye had the opportunity to get more yardage, but he wanted to stay in the backfield. If he had just committed to the run earlier, I think he would have gotten a better gain at this. Take a look at it again.
Just trying to weigh his options, think maybe he's got a chance to throw downfield. Eventually, finally starts turning a little more upfield past the line of scrimmage. Torres able to stick right with him and ultimately hold him to just a 3-yard gain.
Saw the Red Raider cheerleaders. They're still stationed on the near side, closer to the home fans. They don't exactly have that much seating on the far side where the Red Raiders are. 2nd down and 7 for the Vikings. Now a more conventional shotgun formation. Play fake, pass out to the far side is complete. 1st down and more, but the ball is loose and goes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Javian Lazoo made the catch, picked up the 1st down, but couldn't hang on to the pigskin. Fortunately for him, it goes out of bounds and remains in Greater Lowell's possession.
Strong play action there throughout to the left side. And Lazoo continuing to make his impact in this contest. Had a great punt return there. Now gets some good yardage after the catch. Brings it down to the 25-yard line and gives the Griffins a 1st down.
Zaylin Harper-Coleman, Dan, reached in with his right arm and was able to knock that ball loose. He wasn't exactly punching at it. I think Lazoo probably thinks he should have had a better grip on that ball. But it is still a 1st down for Greater Lowell Tech. They're at the Fitchburg 25-yard line, 8:11 to go here, 1st quarter. Handoff straight up the middle to Cirillo. Not much doing there for him. Brought down by a couple of Red Raiders. John Hartwell Cormier first among them. Junior Velez in there as well.
Timeout, Fitchburg.
And Fitchburg takes a timeout, maybe just to give their defense a bit of a breather. It is a warm evening, Dan. You know, these mid-September nights. A little bit warm.
Game time temperature about 67 degrees. It will drop into the low 60s as the game goes on. Wind should not be a significant factor in this contest.
Flag on the far side is pretty much dead still right now. You see Paul DiGeronimo, head coach of the Red Raiders, in his 3rd season. Winless in his 1st, picked up a couple of victories last year, trying to make further improvements here in campaign number 3.
And as we mentioned, he's got a very young team to work with. It is a bigger roster than we had last year. 48 players on last year's roster who were eligible to play varsity, 56 this season. I do think that mid-level waiver really did help a little bit with the retention there from the younger players.
You're seeing it pay off with just the number of freshmen who are playing big roles on this Red Raider team pretty early in their high school career. 2nd down and 9 now for the Griffins. Motion to the near side. Handoff to Cirillo trying the left side. He breaks a couple tackles, lunges forward, but he's only able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Great defense there by the Red Raiders. Landon Hester was in there.
And Landon Hester is one of those many freshmen, too, already making an impact on defense. He's been in quite a few plays, not just in this contest, but last week against Groton Dunstable. He's going to be one of those players to watch over the next couple of years.
3rd and 9 now for Greater Lowell Tech. Got to think this is 4-down territory for the Griffins. Not too many kids in this part of the state can kick a 41-yard field goal. They're certainly not going to punt from the 24. Rye takes the shotgun snap, rolls to his right, throws to his right. Got a step, got his man. 1st down and more. Knocked out of bounds inside the 10-yard line is Javian Lazoo. Another catch and another 1st down for him. It'll be 1st and goal for Greater Lowell.
You can see Rye just letting the play develop. Threw over to the right side, found his man. Slanting away there was Lazoo. And the senior, 6 feet tall, 165 pounds, able to make that catch and make his way to the 6-yard line. 18-yard reception.
Lazoo, 6 foot tall, matched up against Jerome Best, starting quarterback, starting cornerback for the Raiders. Bit of a size advantage for the Griffins. First down handoff, Cirillo loses the football. It's loose inside the 5-yard line. I believe it was fallen on by a Griffin, and it is indeed a Greater Lowell running back, Jamie Cirillo, who comes out with the ball. There's a player down away from the play. I think that's Lazoo. It is indeed. JV and Lazoo have been a big part of the Greater Lowell offense on their first possession. He is hobbling to the sideline.
Based on the research I was able to do for Greater Lowell, they were returning quite a lot of players on defense. I believe 8 starters on defense, but offense was going to be a little more of a question mark. A lot of inexperience in comparison to what they had last year.
Second and goal from the 5. Cirillo again. Dives forward, gets a couple. I think the initial hit was made by Jerome Best.
Indeed it was, as Cirillo was able to dive up the middle. You could see also Jacoby Cutler in on that as well. Another third down coming, this time 3 yards from goal.
6 minutes to play first quarter. Griffins looking to put 6 points on the board on their first possession. They go from the pistol again. Cirillo again bounces off a tackle, and he is in. Touchdown, Greater Lowell. Jamie Cirillo, the senior, from 3 yards out.
They definitely had a lot of trust in him to run the football. He was able to bounce off the tacklers and make his way through. Gets the touchdown as the Griffins are able to complete the 62-yard drive.
Very similar to the last play. This time Cirillo didn't see anything going to his right, so he bounced it left. He was able to find the hole and get in. Now Greater Lowell will attempt the extra point. Good snap, kick is low, but it is good. So with 5:45 to go here in the first quarter, Greater Lowell leads Fitchburg by a score of 7-0.
A 9-play drive, taking 62 yards in 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And for Greater Lowell, able to convert twice on third down on the whole run of things. 3, I guess, if you count the touchdown.
Raiders didn't really have any success at all on their first possession. They fumbled on the first play and were trying to dig out of a hole from there. They wound up going 3 and out and punting. There was that onside attempt on the opening kickoff. Fitchburg was ready for it to begin with. They're going to have to be aware of the possibility of doing it again here. You see Torres and Cutler. Torres to the left, Cutler to the right. Set back deep to return. It's Chris Rivera, right in the middle of the field, who fell on the squib kick to begin the game. This one's a little bit longer, bounces at the 33, picked up and returned to about the 38-yard line. It's where Fitchburg High will start their second possession, but while we have a moment, let's take some time to thank the underwriters who bring this production to you here on FATV.
Fitchburg Access Television's remote productions are brought to you in part by Rollstone Bank and Trust, Acme Carpet One, All One Credit Union, the Sentinel and Enterprise, Minuteman Press, and Unitil.
7-0 Greater Lowell, 5:42 to play here in the first quarter. Jerome Best takes the shotgun snap, floats one out to his right, passes high and incomplete, intended for Jamani Laguerre. Just a little bit too tall for the receiver.
Laguerre is a sophomore. And seeing Best run that play on first down, it felt like he kind of tried to rush that throw a little bit. I felt like he had a little more time to work with and he just put a little too much oomph on it, put it over Laguerre's head, and the pass fell incomplete.
We mentioned that Best is newly converted to the quarterback position. He had been the Raiders' starting tailback. They worked in some halfback pass plays for him. He's not completely new to throwing the ball, but still an adjustment. Now from the I formation on second down, handoff goes to the left side. Plunging forward to about the 40-yard line is Angel Lara. Gain of 2 will set up 3rd down and 8 for Fitchburg.
Felt like Greater Lowell was really loading up the box, really anticipating a run, and that made it so much more difficult for Lara to try to gain positive yardage trying to plunge up the middle because there are just so many Griffins you've got to fight off there.
We were talking, Dan, with Sean Sweeney before the game about the struggles Fitchburg had last week running the ball between the tackles and how they were able to get a little more positive yardage once they started going to the outside. I wonder if they might be a bit quicker to make that adjustment here in this game. 3rd down, Best in trouble, shakes a rush, gonna take it himself, and he ducks out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. It's a decent gain, but he's well short of what he needed. It'll be another 3 and out for Fitchburg.
That time the line was not able to contain Greater Lowell. They burst through immediately. You could see him just shaking out of that tackle attempt there by Jack Caravalias. And then just scrambling to the left, and there was Xavier Quinones. I want to make sure I get his name right. Xavier Quinones was just breathing up there, and so Best checked up there instead of trying to dive forward. Just a few yards gained, and here's the punt.
Very high snap. Lashua was able to get it away. Takes a sideways bounce and rolls a bit forward. Fortunately for Greater Lowell, comes to a stop at about their own 38-yard line, which, if I remember correctly, is where they started their last drive, Dan.
Indeed it is. This one doesn't go as far as the first one did. Lashua was able to uncork a few 45-plus yard punts last week. However, if the ball bounces unkindly, then you're not going to get nearly the yardage there. It's the consistency trying to find that out of the freshman punter.
Honestly, Dan, after the snap made him leap up and bring it down, he was fortunate to get it away. I think Paul DiGeronimo will be happy to at least give Greater Lowell the ball on their side of the field. They take over once again at their 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Griffins. Rise pass to the right side is high and brought down by Javian Lazoo. It was good to see him back out on the field, but Lazoo took a big hit, and he is down again. Griffin trainers and coaches rushing out onto the field to tend to him. Very good to see Javian Lazoo able to get back up to his feet, and he will head back to the sideline. Went up to catch that pass and then took a hit to the legs as he was coming down. We'll take a look at it again here on replay. So he goes up to make the catch. Jerome Best hits him low, and then Lazoo lands on his head. You see him grabbing at his left shoulder. Pretty much immediately as soon as he basically took his helmet off and then started grabbing at that left shoulder. See him there on the sideline. Keep an eye on him, hope that he's all right. Catch stands, it's a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6 now for Greater Lowell Tech. Raiders showing blitz. Here they come. Handoff goes to Cirillo. He gets through the line. He's very close to the line to gain. Officials will, I think they're going to wind up moving the chains. It's very close. And they do indicate that it's the 1st down.
So you put man in motion there, and that was enough to really open up that line, maybe fool the Raiders a little bit as they were starting to move in one direction. And that created the hole for Cirillo to dive through, get a 6-yard gain and a 1st down.
Just introduce the possibility of the jet sweep there. Hand it off straight up the middle. Got enough for the 1st down. Cirillo again on first down, breaks through the line, runs basically over Torres. Finally brought down at the 40-yard line, but that's another Greater Lowell first down.
Not too many Griffins have really touched the ball in this contest, but not too many have had to. It's been pretty much exclusively Cirillo out of the backfield. The only other person with any rushing yards is Cam Rye, the quarterback. Cirillo has 8 carries for 44 yards already in this contest.
Time he had great blocking in front of him. He basically wasn't touched until he decided to bowl through Torres. Now on first down, he'll get it again. Again, great blocking. Gets out of an arm tackle. He's at the 25, cuts back across field to the 15, 10, 5. He's dragged down at the 1-yard line. A tremendous run by Jamie Cirillo. Not quite enough for his second touchdown of the game. But you got to think it's coming soon. Take another look, Dan.
See a lot of different shaken tackles, players maybe even holding off on trying to tackle him because they were going to get him by the horse collar. It took Best with a diving effort just to stop Cirillo a yard short of the goal line. A 39-yard run there for Cirillo was the biggest play of the game thus far.
Best basically had to pounce on him from behind just to bring him down at the 1. First and goal, Greater Lowell. They try Cirillo again. He loses the football. Rye tried to jump on it. Torres is there for Fitchburg, and the Raiders have it. Jonathan Torres winds up with the recovery. We'll take another look.
See there, the ball actually strikes the helmet there of John Hartwell Cormier. It flies back. Rye nearly had it recovered, and Torres was just able to get his arms in, sweep the ball away, and the Raiders avoid disaster there. What surely looked like it was going to be a touchdown to put Greater Lowell up by 2 scores. Instead, the Raiders stop him right there.
Landon Hester had the initial hit for Fitchburg. As you mentioned, the ball struck the helmet of Hartwell Cormier. It's a turnover for Fitchburg. And off to the right side, across the 10-yard line, not much further than that.
Angel Lara had the carry, got about 4 yards.
4 yards isn't much, but I think it represents the best rushing play Fitchburg has had tonight.
It is.
Hey, if you string together 3 of those, you got yourself a first down. Second down and 6 for the Red Raiders. 1:15 and counting to go here in this first quarter. Best pitches to Lara coming to his left. He is wrapped up in the backfield. He had a couple of different Griffins on top of him pretty much from the moment he took the ball. It's Maverick Paquette who will give credit for the tackle.
I like the idea of doing that play, but it was just a matter of Greater Lowell breached the line far too quickly for Lara to really get much real estate. I mean, it's tough when you're running that sweep play and the guy's tackling you from behind.
Paquette was actually lined up pretty much over the center. He was able to burst through the line and then follow Lara as he was trying to let the play develop in front of him. And as you said, Dan, drag him down from behind. Loss of 3. It'll be now 3rd down and 9 for Fitchburg. Best will go from the shotgun. Rolls right, throws right. Pass is caught. That's Jonathan Torres with the catch and the first down. Looked for a moment like a couple of Griffins were breaking from their coverage to try to intercept that ball. But we'll take a look at it again. Best rolling right, throws right. It's a little high, but it's right into the arms of Torres. Stop the clock, move the chains. It's a Fitchburg first down. As they wind again, that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Dan, I think the biggest play of that first period, pretty obviously, is the fumble at the goal line that kept this a 1-score game.
And I guess you could also give a little more credit to Jerome Best just for being able to run down Cirillo and stop him at the 1 yard line, because it meant they didn't score on that play, had to run at least one play to get in the end zone, and that one play ends up losing them the football, and thus losing them what almost certainly was going to be a second touchdown for the Griffins. And so the Raiders at 1/4 time only trail by a score of 7-0.
Absolutely, Dan. That kind of effort play, it's so easy if you're a defender to see a guy, running toward the end zone and be like, oh, great, he's got a big run, he's going to score, he's going to go up 2 scores, we're going to lose, this is going to be bad. But Best had that determination, had that stubbornness, if you will, to say, hey, no, I think I can tackle this guy, I'm going to go tackle this guy. He dives on his back, he brings him down at the 1, and then you never know what can happen. Fitchburg is able to force the turnover. Now they have the ball and they're driving as we get ready to start the second quarter.
Raiders will have it at their own 20-yard line. They got their first down in the contest on that pass, too. They have 14 yards of offense through the first quarter of play. Greater Lowell, I've got them down for 118 yards of offense. Obviously, those trends are going to have to shift if the Raiders want to win this game. 2 in the backfield on first down. Best is just going to take himself to go straight up the middle. Got a few yards immediately, then ran into the 2 linebackers who wouldn't give an inch.
It's a great play for 2nd and 1, I think. I don't know if I love it for 1st and 10, the surprise quarterback sneak up the middle, but if there's nobody lined up right over the center, Jerome Best is probably your most athletic ball carrier.
Ball goes to the 24-yard line. It is a 4-yard gain. And off on 2nd down, Lara trying to pinball around, push forward, gets at least a yard, but that's all that's going to be given. He'll be pulled down at the 25-yard line.
Ryan Abreu and Jojo Evangelista in there on the hit for the Griffins. Speaking of JoJo, I think I saw Nicki Minaj on an American flag in the crowd. I love football fans.
They got ideas. Third down and 5 for the Red Raiders. Have to get to the 30-yard line for a fresh set. It's going to be Torres trying to go on an end around, and he is wrapped up immediately. Sean McKazick, the junior, bursting into the backfield and blowing it all to smithereens.
Absolutely nothing could be done with that one.
Lashua will be back in to boot it away. It's a solid kick, but Greater Lowell able to jump up to the 45 to get it. And coming out to the right side, running that one back there was Jaden Rosa.
There was a lot of leg behind that kick, Dan, but it's the kind of kick that as a punter, you're always a little nervous about. It's a low line drive, so it's got the distance, but it gets to the return man very quickly, gives him time to set up his return, see where he wants to go with the ball. Not quite out kicking your coverage there, but similar.
And you can see that the Greater Lowell kick returners trust themselves enough to run down, pick up that football before it bounces and turns what could be like a 40, 45-yard punt into about a 27-yard punt. As Rosa has plenty of time in the pocket, he's going to step up and run, but there is a flag thrown by Mr. Charters. Usually not a good sign for the offense.
Not great. Anytime the referee is the one reaching for the handkerchief, that's usually offensive holding.
During the play, we had holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, replay first down.
Our first penalty of the game comes a little over 2 minutes into the second quarter. put it back to the 39-yard line.
Be first and 20 for the Griffins. We'll see if we can spot the hold here. I think just on the right side of your screen, you saw a Griffin offensive lineman reach out with his left hand and pull at the jersey of a Raider who would have had him beat. And that, more likely than not, resulted in the penalty.
There's a completion out to the right side, getting all that penalty yardage back. Looked like another catch there for Jamie Cirillo. I think he was the one who was able to pull that in from the right side.
That was indeed Cirillo with the reception. I think that's the first time he's caught the ball. Was lined up to the right side, just ran a simple swing as a dump off. Able to get back just beyond the original line of scrimmage.
12-yard gain. It is his first reception of the night. All of the previous receptions had ended up in the hands of Javian Lazu, who, as we saw, exited the game with injury earlier in this contest. Cam Rye, by the way, a perfect 4 for 4 for 49 yards thus far. Second down and 8 from the 27-yard line. Single back formation continuing out of the shotgun for the Griffins. It'll be Cirillo again, shot out of 3 tackles. It drives forward. 3 different Raiders able to combine for the tackle, Jonathan Torres being the first to arrive. Down at the 17-yard line. 10-yard gain and another first down, the 7th of the night for Greater Lowell. Only 3 players have touched the ball offensively for the Griffins tonight. The quarterback, Cam Rye, Javian Lazu, and Jamie Cirillo. They're the only Griffins who've touched the football on offensive plays. Here's a run up the middle, but that's shut down immediately. Lamboy is there, Serrano or Solomon is there. Cirillo not getting any success on that one, Zach Solomon. And again, one of those Raiders joining in on the tackle.
That time the Raider defensive line able to hold, brought a little pressure from the outside. And we mentioned Javian Lazu, who's been a massive contributor on offense for the Griffins, left with injury. I can report that Javian Lazu just left Crocker Field. He walked right out the front door. Still in uniform, he hasn't taken that off, but he
and Rye has trouble with the ball there. Ends up falling on it, eating that football. And that'll knock the Griffins back a few yards.
Looked like he just couldn't handle the snap. Take another look. He's trying to backpedal with the snap almost before it comes to him, similar to a receiver who's trying to run with the ball before he makes the catch. He's trying to move backward before the snap hits him in the hands and throws off the timing. He's not able to handle it. Falls on it, and it's a big loss.
Loses 6 yards there. It's 3rd down and 17. They've got to get to the 7-yard line for a fresh set. With the ball on the 24-yard line. Again, Jamie Cirillo to the right of Cam Rye, wearing number 0. Rye's got it, holds on to it, throws to the left side, and that is incomplete. Cannot find Jaden Rosa, who we hooked up with last week for the lone touchdown for the Griffins. Raiders get a 3rd down stop for the first time tonight.
A little surprised that Greater Lowell went for the home run ball on 3rd and 18. It was good protection for Rye. Pass was a little bit high. Rosa definitely had a step on Jerome Best. But rather than, try to pick up a little bit, make a manageable 4th down. Now you've got 4th and 18. You're not going to kick a 41-yard field goal. You're not going to punt from the opponent's 24-yard line. The Griffins will go for it.
Really not much else you can do. Rye takes all the time he can. Gets it downfield. It's intercepted by Jonathan Torres. Torres gets the 10, shakes out of a tackle, goes to the 20, to the 30, 35, still on his feet at the 40, cuts across field. He's at midfield. He's at the 40. He's finally taken down at the 35-yard line.
There's a flag in as well as Torres is brought down. The flag came in after the play as he was being brought down. I don't think this is going to come all the way back or anything like that. We'll get the
During
call
the
from Rick
return,
Charters.
we had a hold on Fitchburg. 10 yards from the spot of the hold. It's going to be first down.
It is a hold against the Raiders, back him up 10 yards from the spot, but that will still be Fitchburg ball in Greater Lowell territory, I believe. Dan, what is the old saying when you're a defensive back? Fourth down, knock it down. That was in my head when Jonathan Torres went up and made this interception. He's a good 20, 25 yards from where the Raiders would have taken it. And it looked like a pretty bad decision when he was almost wrapped up there, when he gets out of a tackle here, but it's a tremendous return for Torres, sets the Raiders up with great field position.
First and 10, 48 yards from goal, and Best wants it all, going right side of the field. Is that caught? Yes, it is. What a catch there by Jamani Laguerre.
Fitchburg wanted to go for the dagger. They wanted to go deep to Laguerre. Best was under pressure, wasn't able to get everything he wanted on the throw, but Laguerre was able to adjust to it. See again, they go play action. Best has to jump and takes a shot as he's throwing. So it's one-on-one coverage, but Laguerre is able to get up, grab the ball, keep a foot in bounds, and it's a first down for Fitchburg on their biggest offensive play of the day.
Brings it down to the 28-yard line. Suddenly the Raiders have momentum. First and 10, but whistles before that.
They killed the play at the snap. It's probably a false start, but we'll see.
Before the snap, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Remember in high school, you break the line of scrimmage, they'll kill it immediately.
That's right. So more momentum for Fitchburg. First and 5 now. Plenty of time for them to score. 5 minutes and change left here in the second quarter. Fitchburg doesn't really need to worry about the time. They can run their offense.
One in the backfield is Hartwell Cormier, but before the snap, I think we'll have a timeout.
Timeout, Fitchburg.
Raiders will take their second timeout with 4:46 to go in the first half. A 7-0 lead for Greater Lowell.
While we have a moment, folks, we want to remind you this game is just the first of 2 this weekend here on FATV. Tomorrow, 12 noon kickoff from Elliott Field. The Falcons of Fitchburg State will host New England College. Fitchburg State is 1-1. They did fall to UMass Dartmouth, but as losses to the best team in the conference go, it was a pretty encouraging one for the Falcons.
Well, last time they played the Corsairs, they lost to them by 66 points. Last week when they played them, they lost to them by 1 point.
That's improvement.
That's a tremendous improvement. And it'll be the first time the Raiders have ever played New England College as well.
I don't think the Raiders have ever played New England College.
No, they haven't, but it'll be the first time the Falcons have.
There you go.
You see, when you do these cross-level promotions.
It's my own fault. How dare I try to get a plug in?
Hartwell Cormier remains in the backfield behind Jerome Best. First and 5. It's going to be Best who's going to take it himself and then flip it off left side. It's going to be caught by Hartwell Cormier, and he'll drive past the 10-yard line.
We mentioned earlier, Dan, Jerome Best, probably the most athletic ball carrier the Red Raiders have. That time they use his athleticism as a decoy. Fake the end around, send the tailback Hartwell Cormier out there. As soon as Best is running with the football, Greater Lowell Tech is convinced, as we all were, that Best was going to keep it and run it himself. But he is a quarterback. He is behind the line of scrimmage. He had Hartwell Cormier, and he found him for the first down.
When I saw that handoff not be a handoff, the first thing I thought is, I don't think they're on the same page on this play. But he goes to the safety valve option, Hartwell Cormier, and he's able to get a 15-yard reception. They're just 8 yards from goal. Lara on first down, found a bit of a hole, still on his feet. He'll be taken down at the 1.
Fitchburg really hasn't had a lot of success running between the tackles, but as you open it up, you go to the outside, that opens up the middle. Good blocking by the offensive line, great job by the fullback as well. Lara is brought down at the 2-yard line, where it will be second down and goal.
Probably the biggest run of the night, and of course it's going to be Best just going to try to drive it himself. Follow the pile into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders! Jerome Best from 2 yards out gets his second score of the season. The Raiders are within a point.
Best kept it on a quarterback sneak on 1st and 10 earlier in the game. This time second and goal from the 2. Not quite a full tush push, although he did have some help from the backside. Now the Raiders will attempt an extra point.
It all collapsed. It was not a good snap. They tried to get
incomplete.
to Best to kick the extra point.
I believe, Dan, that's the first extra point the Red Raiders have attempted this season. They went for 2 after their touchdown in their last game.
Best attempted 1 extra point last season, did convert on it, but that time didn't really get the opportunity. It remains 7-6.
We do still hear Mr. Touchdown from the Fitchburg High cheerleaders for the first time here at Crocker Field. Greater Lowell now has an opportunity, Dan. Remember, they won the coin toss and deferred. So the Griffins will get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. They have all 3 of their timeouts, 3.5 minutes to work with once they get the ball. Given all of that, I might be alert to the possibility of a surprise onside from Fitchburg.
That last drive, 4 plays, 48 yards, took about 3 minutes.
Cole Lashua having a little bit of time getting the ball situated on the kicking tee. He's got it now.
Freshman big number 87, highest numbered Raider, as he keeps that one on the ground. He'll be gobbled in by an up man at the 32-yard line as he makes his way out to the numbers. He'll be swallowed up at the 40-yard line. That was Griffin Morales.
The aptly named Griffin Morales sets the Greater Lowell Tech Griffins with pretty good field position. You know, we've been calling Red Raider games for a while. I don't think we've ever seen a guy named Red Raider Jones. It's a shame. Can he be the next Ed Reynolds? Just one time?
Of course.
Okay. Of course, everyone remembers the great dual threat for Fitchburg State, Falcon Santucci. He had a good run. He's in Europe now.
Griffin the Griffin got it 9 yards to the 41-yard line. It is 1st and 10. Rye's going to keep it himself, roll to the right side. Found some space. Laguerre will shepherd him out of bounds around midfield.
Really does seem like Greater Lowell Tech had 2 or 3 weapons in mind with their offense, and they are without one of them. Javian Lazou left with what appeared to be a shoulder injury. Last we saw him, he was exiting out the front gate. Has not returned.
Rye is able to get 9 yards on the ground, knows the football, touching the 50-yard line or just hovering over it. Second down and 1 to go with 3:23 to go in the 2nd quarter. Griffins holding on to a 7-6 lead. Will be Cirillo. Makes a little bit of a cut, finds some space in the left side. Now he's galloping at the 40 to the 35-yard line. Then he runs out of real estate. Chased out of bounds there by Zaylin Harper-Coleman.
It's great vision with the ball by Jamie Cirillo. This play is designed to go up the middle or to the right side, but there's absolutely nothing there. Cirillo sees a big gaping hole to his left. He cuts that way. He's not even touched until he's run out of bounds by Zaylin Harper-Coleman.
18-yard gain there. "32 yards from goal are the Griffins with another 1st and 10. Bry looks to throw all day, but now he's under pressure from Mate Nagabe. Gets a wobbler off that's out of the reach of Jaden Rosa.
Rye saw him grabbing at his right shoulder. He is not feeling too good. He's heading for the sideline. Brody Marvin is out with the coach on the sideline. Yeah, Cam Rye is coming out of this game, at least for a play. See, he's under pressure. He's got a Mate Nagabe on top of him. He wasn't really hit, was Rye, but he went down grabbing at his right arm. And now you see him here on the near side bench being tended to by the Griffin trainers. Again, it's Brody Marvin, the junior, coming in at quarterback for Greater Lowell Tech.
One of 3 quarterbacks I can see on this roster for the Griffins. On 2nd and 10, he'll loft it up with a bit of a pump, aired that up. Best went for it, Best got it. It's an interception.
Marvin looked like he was stepping into that ball to chuck it downfield, Dan. Take a look at the windup here, and then he just kind of floats it out there. Almost looked like Matt Waldred delivering a knuckleball, the way he's really winding up like he's going to chuck it as hard as he can and just kind of lofts it.
Yeah, he went for the floater there, and that gave Best enough time to get in front of the receiver, gobble that one in.
I wonder, and this is purely me hypothesizing, if there was some miscommunication between the backup quarterback Marvin and the intended receiver. Maybe Marvin thought the receiver was running a deeper route, had to adjust his throw mid-motion.
Laguerre coming from the left end on 1st down, gets to the right flank, gets to 30, shakes off a tackle, and is forced out of bounds just past there.
See the Red Raiders having a little bit more success getting the ball to the outside. And again, Dan, as they keep moving or demonstrating a willingness to move the ball to the outside, to the flanks, that's going to force Greater Lowell Tech to respect that, which in return is going to open up the middle of the field.
Laguerre's first run as a Red Raider goes for 9 yards. 2nd down and 1. Lara gets it at the 30. Seemed like he was having a little bit of trouble securing that handoff, and the hesitation was enough for Greater Lowell to burst through and stop him for a loss.
Brian Abreu, the first Griffin to hit him, certainly not the only one. Take another look from behind the play. It's a counter to the right. Now, Lara just runs into a brick wall wearing number 88. And Abreu and Evangelista were able to bring him down.
3rd down and 2, but we have whistles.
Offside is the indication.
Before the snap, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
It's a 2nd encroachment penalty of the game against the Griffins. This one is huge. I'm guessing, Dan, that the left end right here on the end of the line is just lined up in the neutral zone. Ball's on the 30, his hand's on the 30. You're lined up in the neutral zone, that's going to draw a flag. And here at the high school level, that means kill the play dead. It's a 1st down for Fitchburg.
Give him the 5 yards. We approach 2 minutes to go in the 1st half. 7-6 Greater Lowell in front. Raiders have it on their own 35-yard line. Best wants to throw. He's going to throw downfield for Jonathan Torres. Bobbling it. He does not come up with it.
It's the 2nd time the Raiders have gone deep. Torres had a step. Pass maybe not as far upfield as would have been ideal. Torres was in decent position, but Darian Auk was able to come in and hit him from behind. Knock that ball loose.
The coverage there from Torres' counterpart wearing number 3. Forces the incompletion, stops the clock with 1:48 remaining in the half.
Seems to me, Dan, that the Raiders trust Jerome Best to chuck it downfield, try to hit the big play. We haven't seen much of the short passing game from him.
Best is rolling out to the left. Now he's got to throw it. It's going to be incomplete. Sort of into triple coverage, was in front of everybody. Hartwell Cormier was the intended receiver.
That time they do go with a shorter pass. You've got the right-handed quarterback Best rolling to his left, trying to hit Hartwell Cormier on the run. It's always a bit dicey when you've got that right-handed quarterback running to his left. He's got to turn his body, kind of throw against his momentum. That time the pass was a little bit inaccurate, not able to be brought in by Hartwell Cormier, and it sets up 3rd down.
Sean McKasick had the best look of all in that one, but even then the ball was about a yard or so in front of him too. Raiders are 1 for 4 on 3rd down tonight. They've got 63 yards of offense to Greater Lowell's 160, but it's only a 1-point game. Both these teams looking for their first win on the young campaign.
Timeout, Fitchburg. Their final timeout.
Raiders will call their last timeout of the half. 103 ticks of the clock remaining in the first half. 7-6 Greater Lowell in front.
Dan, while we have a moment as Fitchburg takes their last timeout of the first half, we saw Cam Rye, the starting quarterback for Greater Lowell Tech, go down with an injury on their last possession. They just took his jersey and pads completely off of him at the near sideline. He's being talked to right now by a couple of players. He's grabbing at his right shoulder, but he is in pretty severe, obvious discomfort here on the near side. Obviously, we don't want to speculate as to what exactly the injury is, but I think it's fair to say that his right shoulder is in a great deal of pain, and I would be surprised to see him play any further part in this contest.
The most important thing right now there for the senior is just to ensure that he's okay. Put his health first and foremost.
Rye with the right shoulder. We saw Javian Lazoo leave with an apparent left shoulder injury earlier. Lazoo had suffered an injury and returned to play, then left with another one.
3rd down, Best wants to go left side. Everyone battling for that there, and it will fall incomplete as they wanted to get Chris Rivera. He was tangled up with his receiver.
Xavier Quinones is... You see this very often, Dan, when a receiver goes downfield, there's contact, the ball falls incomplete. The receiver is gesturing like, where's the flag? I want to pass interference. Xavier Quinones, the defender, comes out of this looking to the officials like, where is the flag? Where is the OPI? And honestly, I think he's got a case. He had a receiver grabbing at his face mask to stop him from making that pick.
Lashua puts a boot into that one, sends it all the way to the 29-yard line. It is muffed, so it's live now. Rosa does have to pick it up and work with it. He's going to get to the 40, the 45, 50, 45, 40, still on his way. Finally runs into some blockers downfield. The only thing really stopping him from a touchdown was just some solid blocking elsewhere that he ran into. But it's a great run back for Rosa, bringing it all the way back to the 25-yard line.
And again, Dan, Lashua gets a lot of leg into this one, but even with the muff by Rosa, he only has to make one man miss, and then he's got plenty of time to work, plenty of time for his blockers to set him up. He's able to pick it up and run, get a great return. Now Greater Lowell Tech has 80 seconds and 3 timeouts, and they only need 21 yards.
It's a 49-yard run back there for the Griffins. 1st down carry to the left side. That's Jamie Cirillo, as it's been pretty much all night.
Greater Lowell.
Torres makes the tackle as Shane Abrams, the 14th-year head coach, will call his first time out of the contest.
I said on Greater Lowell Tech's last possession that it looked like they had three playmakers they really wanted to run their offense through, those being Cam Rye, Javian Lazoo, and Jamie Cirillo. Lazoo has been out with an injury for quite a while now. Rye left with one during their last possession. He is still on the sideline, still without his jersey. He is not going to be playing football anytime soon. So they are basically down to Jamie Cirillo and backups on offense. You got to think that Fitchburg is going to respond by stacking the box, 8, 9, 10 men within a couple yards of the line of scrimmage. Try to contain that Greater Lowell Tech running game.
And just seeing, the first pass from Brody Marvin finding Jerome Best is not a good sign either. So really just going to be trying to ride Cirillo as far as they can. But Marvin will take it himself this time. Or whatever it was, I missed it.
It was a keeper, you were right. Have some faith in yourself, you're good at this.
I just stole from Chris Woods on that is all. To the 13-yard line, here's Cirillo with another handoff, and he's able to cut diagonally to the left to about the 6.
Dan, can we give credit to Jaden Rosa for the tackle there? Because honestly, Cirillo basically just ran into his own teammate, and that's why he fell to the turf.
Ball's down to the 6-yard line. Greater Lowell moving with urgency in the final minute of this half. Cirillo going diagonal again. Doesn't find anyone who's going to stop him. Touchdown, Griffins.
A great field position from the punt return by Rosa means that Greater Lowell Tech can keep the ball on the ground. There is a flag down at about the 5-yard line. Didn't see it come in during the play, but actually I think on that replay we saw there may well be an infraction committed by the Griffins. We'll see what All the Money Goes to the Public Schools Instead has to say about this one.
After the play, we had a personal foul, unsportsmanlike, on White, number 8. That's his first towards ejection. It's going to be enforced on the extra point. We're going to try for extra point.
So Cirillo guilty of unsportsmanlike conduct after the play was over.
Timeout, Greater Lowell.
So Greater Lowell's going to think about this now that the Raiders are going to force the Griffins to try to go for it from 18 yards away. And the original look is that perhaps maybe they trust the leg of Stephen Schwang from 35 yards out.
Would be ambitious. I understand why Fitchburg would take it on the extra point as opposed to the kickoff. I think even if you move Greater Lowell Tech back 15 yards on the kickoff, it's unlikely that Fitchburg High would make a serious play at scoring with 30 seconds and no timeouts. If they're able to keep the Griffins from either nailing a kick or going for 2 here. Now we'll note that Schwang has taken the kicking tee off of the field. So I think they're going to send the offense out and see what you have for a 25-yard 2-point conversion. Not a 25-yard, but a lengthy one.
The 18 yards. So think about it, the one extra point we saw from Schwang was not great. It got through the uprights, but did not have the distance. So Marvin's is just going to be wrapped up by Lamboy, but I do think he reached in a place he shouldn't have reached.
Yeah, Josh Lamboy came in uncontested from the left side of the offensive line. There was really no need for him to get his arm up around the neck of the quarterback, but he did nonetheless.
During the try, we had a personal foul face mask on the defense. We're going to go 15 yards from the spot of that foul and try for extra point.
So it's going to be half the distance, I think, instead. So that's going to bring it to the 9-yard line instead.
Line up for what would be about a 29-yard extra point attempt.
Can't say I've ever seen that before. Snap is down, kick is up. It's had the leg, but I think it was wide.
Wide right, no good. So with the help of a penalty, Fitchburg is able to stay at a 7-point deficit. But again, Dan, that massive punt return by Jaden Rosa set the Griffins up. It's going to be interesting to see how Fitchburg adjusts in the second half. It looks like Greater Lowell Tech is pretty much by necessity, without their starting quarterback and without their best wide receiver, going to need to keep the ball on the ground. We'll see how and if the Red Raiders are able to contain the ground game as this game advances toward the third quarter. There you see Cam Rye, left with an apparent right shoulder injury earlier. He is not going to be playing football anytime soon. One would guess not tonight, but I am but a schmuck who is several floors above the play of the game right now. So I don't know things.
Stephen Schwang, the junior kicker, 5'10", 165, ready to boot it away. Biggest boot he's put into a ball tonight. Gets it to the 16-yard line. Cutler on the far side, able to return it past the 25.
Griffins will get the ball to start the third quarter. I would assume that with 29 seconds on the clock and no timeouts, Fitchburg is just going to hand the ball up the middle and see if maybe something happens here, but we shall see. They have shown a willingness to throw it deep in this game.
Raiders will have two in the backfield. Best to take the snap. Hand off and a drive up the middle. About a 2-yard gain. Seemed like the most reasonable thing to do, all things considered. It was Lara with the carry. They'll give 1 yard to the 29. Clock runs down to 5 seconds. Greater Lowell's not going to use their final timeout. And so that'll take us to the half.
That's the half.
13-6, the visitors from Tingsboro and thereabouts in front.
It's been an interesting game, Dan. Greater Lowell Tech had a near obvious touchdown taken away from them early on in the second quarter as they had a big run, got it down to the 1 yard line. Fitchburg was able to force a turnover. I think in many ways the Raiders should kind of count themselves lucky to be within just a score at halftime. Greater Lowell has looked to be the better team, but it's certainly not a blowout.
I mean, looking at how these two teams had done in week number 1, we really only have so much to go on. The impression I got is Greater Lowell's better. Maybe not that much better, but they are better. And as it's been through 24 minutes of football, Greater Lowell has been better. I mean, offensively, 182 yards for the Griffins and 64 yards for the Red Raiders. Obviously, in that particular metric, there's quite a disparity. But it's just been a matter of, there have been a couple of mistakes by the Griffins that have cost them, and Fitchburg has been able to, they drove down the field on that drive, that 4-play, 48-yard drive to get themselves the score after the interception from Jonathan Torres. And from there, the Raiders, they got themselves on the board, and they are sticking in this game.
Absolutely. From the perspective of the Red Raider fandom, you want to see them get a stop on the first possession, get the ball back, and hey, it's a one-score game. You never know what can happen. Folks, we have 2 quarters of action still to come here from historic Crocker Field. But for now, Dan and I will take the halftime break along with the players. We invite you to enjoy the musical stylings of the Fitchburg High School Marching Band. We'll come back with the third quarter in not too long at all. It's halftime here at Crocker Field. Fitchburg High Red Raider football on FATV. Back here at historic Crocker Field, John Gugerty joined by Dan Bullock. We're just about ready for the third quarter of action between the Red Raiders of Fitchburg High and the Griffins of Greater Lowell Tech. But before we get ready for that, we want to take a look back at how we got here. It is 13-6 Greater Lowell as we get ready for quarter number 3. Griffin offense has been pretty much a three-headed monster of Jamie Cirillo, Javian Lazoo, and the quarterback Cam Rye. Cirillo with a couple of big runs. You saw the touchdown earlier, and this play very nearly a touchdown. Cirillo tackled at the 1-yard line by Jerome Best. Then on the very next play, they handed to Cirillo again. Ball came loose. It's a big swing in momentum there. Fitchburg was able to recover. Best has had some success through the air. He finds Jonathan Torres there. Most of Fitchburg's offense has come on the ground, although as you saw there, Greater Lowell Tech has been very successful in that as well. This was a big play for Fitchburg, a fourth down interception by Jonathan Torres and a big return for him. Put the Red Raiders into Greater Lowell Tech's territory. Torres got it inside the 30, flag backed him up just a little bit, but still a big return for Torres. Red Raiders capitalized on the short field. Best was able to plunge in with a 2-yard quarterback sneak, his second rushing touchdown of the season. Best has been responsible for both of the rushing touchdowns for Fitchburg. Greater Lowell Tech suffered a number of injuries in the first half with Cam Rye sidelined. Brody Marvin took over at quarterback. One quarterback picked off by another as Best made the interception. Fitchburg unable to capitalize, however, after a great punt return by Jaden Rosa. Jamie Cirillo scored his second touchdown of the game. That took us to where we are now, 13-6 as we get ready for the third quarter. And here with the play-by-play is Dan Bolak.
Thank you very much, John. Raiders will be kicking off to start this second half. Cole Lashua, the freshman, will run into it, boot it to the right side, goes off the hands, and it'll be dove on. Really not controlled cleanly. The Raiders may have recovered this. They have.
Paul DiGeronimo was right there on the sideline. He was the first to see, and he was the first to gesture that Fitchburg had fallen on that football. Zaylin Harper-Coleman comes up with it. Was deflected, and then the returner couldn't handle it. And there's a scrum right in front of the Fitchburg head coach, from which the Raiders emerge with the football.
Zaylin Harper-Coleman gets the recovery on all of that. Greater Lowell started this game with an onside kickoff that was not successful. The Raiders start this second half with what was not intended to be an onside kick, but turned into one anyway.
Second time today that the Raiders have gotten a turnover that's given them possession in the Greater Lowell Tech side of the football field. The first time led to their first touchdown.
First down, Jacoby Cutler taking it on the end around, trying to go back up the middle, but runs into two different Griffins there. Jack Caravalias and Sean McKazick combining there to stop Cutler there for not very much.
Good job by Cutler, seeing that taking it all the way to the wing wasn't going to happen. He cut up field, tried to make something happen, wasn't able to get any further than the original line of scrimmage.
It is no gain on first down. And the receivers took off quite early there.
Torres and Laguerre thought it was on one.
False start.
It was in fact on 2.
5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Maybe the first false start we've had in this contest.
I believe so. There have been a few encroachments, but that was the first false start. Backs the Raiders up 5 yards, makes it second down and 15 for Fitchburg. They're at GLT's 39, and they need to get to the 24.
Greater Lowell's got 4 penalties for 35. Fitchburg 4 penalties for 34 yards.
Do the Griffins like it when you call them GLT? It kind of makes them sound like a fancy caramel. I may just be saying that because I'm presently in the market for a car. So, if anyone wants to bribe a very low important commentator, you have my number.
Jerome Best scrambling backwards, just can't find anything. Lost a handle on that football. That will be scored as an incomplete pass.
And Jerome Best is down. He was running as fast as he could to try to get away from that. Had a couple of different rushers coming in behind him. Just kind of underhand flipped the ball forward. He gets to the far sideline under his own power. You see him clutching there at his left knee. Fitchburg trainers, head coach Paul DiGeronimo there to check in on him. And keep an eye on Jerome Best. Obviously a critical part of this Red Raider offense. Best had been the starting halfback for Fitchburg, takes over this season as the starting quarterback, with Zacchaeus Collins having transferred away from Fitchburg. He is now injured on the far sideline. Blake Doyle, the freshman, will come in and run the offense.
Doyle wearing number 14, another one of those freshmen.
Timeout, Fitchburg.
Fitchburg will take their first timeout, give themselves a little bit more time to catch their breath, emotionally recover. Maybe time for the freshman quarterback Doyle to make sure that he has the correct play call.
Try to get everything squared away. The last play there sort of went south very quickly for the Raiders. This Best was scrambling backwards, already was 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage and tackled sort of awkwardly.
Was able to get rid of the ball, and it went forward for an incomplete pass. Gotta think, Dan, 3rd and 15 at the opponent's 39-yard line. If you can get 5 or 10 yards on this, that probably makes it 4-down territory, doesn't it?
Could be. Best is continuing to test his knees as he is back on his feet. Plenty of running space on that far sideline to test the legs out. Doyle will hand off to Lara, who's speared down in the backfield. It's the captain there, Sam Newberry, leading the charge for the Griffins.
Newberry coming up from that linebacker position. Just absolutely unblocked, a full head of steam. Lowers the shoulder, channels his inner Goldberg, a massive spear, and a great tackle. Now Fitchburg will punt.
Lasher will boot it away, put it high in the air on the far side, hope it'll bounce downfield. Instead it bounces out of bounds around the 25-yard line.
I think that's a bit of a generous spot. They'll mark it at the 20. So I think officially it's a 21-yard punt for Cole Lashua. Wanted to make absolutely sure they didn't boot this one towards a returner after what Greater Lowell Tech has been able to do returning punts in this game. Brody Marvin still the quarterback for the Griffins. If you're just joining us, Cam Rye, the senior, started at QB for Greater Lowell Tech, but he left with an injury in the second quarter. He's back out on the sideline, but he is on the bench in sans jersey, so he will not be playing anytime soon. Probably not for the rest of the game.
First down handoff, and the Raiders knew exactly what the Griffins were going to do, which is the play they've run so many times in this contest. Give it to Aiden, see what happens. Jamie Cirillo is wrapped up immediately.
Zaylen Harper-Coleman got into the backfield so fast, Dan, he could have taken this handoff. As soon as the ball's in Cirillo's hands, Harper-Coleman is there to meet him. And then it's just a whole bunch of guys in red shirts leading a big group hug. Loss of 4 for the Griffins.
Back to the 16-yard line. Although Fitchburg kicked off to start the second half, this is the first offensive drive of the half for the Griffins. It's going to be Jaden Rosa getting it on the end around, goes to the 20, knocked out of bounds around the 25-yard line. I think his head may have clattered there with Jimani Laguerre.
And Laguerre is a little bit worse for wear coming out of that. See him hobbling, looks to be favoring his left leg. Take another look at that. Rosa almost lost the handle on that ball, had to readjust his grip. Clashes with Laguerre. And then Laguerre comes up hobbling. He's going to head to the sideline. He'll check out for at least one play. Byron Serrano will replace him.
First carry of the contest there for Jaden Rosa goes for 9 yards. Rosa had the touchdown catch, 67 yards last week against North Reading. 3rd down and 5. A little over 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 13-6 lead for Greater Lowell. Marvin ready to take the snap out of the shotgun formation. Hands off, breaking out of a tackle, trying to get around the line, going to get the first down, and still on his feet to the 40-yard line.
Jack Karavulius with a tremendous effort. Zaylin Harper-Coleman had burst into the backfield again, timed the snap perfectly. You see him right there. But Karavulius is able to run out of Harper-Coleman's tackle, and then he's dragging Jerome Best, just hopping forward with 1 foot, finally picking up the first down for Greater Lowell Tech.
Miguel Gonzalez gets the tackle there, stopping Karavulius after a 16-yard run.
Dan, I don't believe that we've seen a player wearing the Guardian cap that Sam Newberry's sport.
We haven't
Very
seen
rare.
Not too many Guardian caps at the high school level. Karavulius again out of the backfield. Gets to the line of scrimmage, wrapped up, drives forward, gets a couple of yards. Gonzalez was there, Harper-Coleman was there. 2-yard gain there.
I don't see Jamie Cirillo on the sideline for Greater Lowell Tech. Oh, there he is. I just spotted him. He appears to be fine. He's just not playing right now. Griffins are giving him a bit of a breather.
Before the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty.
And
Still second
Fitchburg
down.
is giving Greater Lowell Tech 5 free yards as they jump across the line. Raiders showed blitz, tried to time the snap count. Got a little bit too aggressive there. Now it's 2nd and 3 as opposed to 2nd and 8.
And more things going wrong there.
This one, I think everyone but the center thought it was on 1, and the center thought it was on 2. If everyone but the center moves, it is the center's fault, usually.
Before the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, completely mooted the last penalty.
Yeah, we had an encroachment, we had a false start. 45 seconds of our lives went by, and we're right back where we were. It's all fine.
Back to 2nd and 8 from the 43-yard line of Greater Lowell. 30 seconds short of halfway in this 3rd quarter. 13-6. The Griffins in front. Marvin will hand it off, and not able to break out of that tackle that time. Masango Amate Nagabe breaking into the backfield. Karavulius not able to get the yardage that he wanted that time.
Snap a bit off target, took a little bit of extra time for Marvin to get it into the hands of Karavulius. Masango Amate Nagabe there to wrap him up before he could get anything.
Greater Lowell is 4 for 5 on 3rd down in this contest. They need to get to the Raiders' 49-yard line to reset the box. Rudy Marvin continuing as the quarterback. Pump fakes, now steps up, throws a bullet over the middle. It's caught on the left side. At the 30, the 20, still on his feet. It's Nathan Norman who's got a Griffin touchdown.
Norman was wide open, and he was able to take it up the left sideline completely untouched. We'll take another look at this one again. Good protection for Marvin. He pumps. He's able to step up, deliver a well-thrown strike. Norman had beaten his defender. There was absolutely nobody there with him. He had simply outrun Pedroza. Hit him in stride. Norman was off to the races.
57-yard touchdown catch there for Nathan Norman. The first time we say his name all broadcast long, and he finds his way into the end zone. Extra point off the foot of Stephen Schwang is good. 5:15 to go, third quarter. It's 20-6, Greater Lowell in front.
There is a player down after the extra point. It's Sam Newberry grabbing at his leg. Mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, it is a bit of a warm evening, a little bit humid. Hydration becomes very important. Not the first time we've seen trainer come out onto the field to help with what appears to be a cramp on a warm September evening here in Fitchburg. I would dare say it won't be the last.
That last drive, 6 plays, 80 yards, took 4.5 minutes or so.
Toward the end of the second quarter, Dan, I mentioned that Greater Lowell Tech was without 2 of their 3 big offensive weapons, those being Cam Rye and Javian Lazoo. They would rely pretty heavily on Jamie Cirillo, and it would be interesting to see how Fitchburg adjusted to that. Well, Greater Lowell Tech made the adjustment first. They didn't even have Cirillo on the field for most of that last possession. But they were able to mix it up, go on the ground, go through the air, try the outside a little bit more. They kept the Red Raiders guessing all the way into the end zone.
I'm vamping, trying to find an out-of-town score, where the only score that's gone across the wire was Marlboro beating Algonquin 22-0.
Panthers eat gonk meat.
We will be seeing the Panthers again later this season. That'll be on October the 17th. It'll be the second straight year that Marlboro will make their way to historic Crocker Field.
Do I get to play the heel? Can I wear my black shirt, orange tie?
Mr. Sweeney's against it. I'm a Monty Tech grad.
Listen, we mentioned this a couple of times a year because it's fun. Neither of us actually went to Fitchburg High School.
That is correct.
It's true. It's a factual statement. You can look it up. I don't know why you would, but you could. While we have some time, we do want to thank our tremendous crew here on FATV. Our director this evening is Nate Glennie. Travis Falk is handling graphics, as well as his usual superlative job as our technical supervisor. Henry Christensen's operating the replay for us tonight, and our camera operators include Isaiah Manuel, Robin Como, Alex Fabrile, and a gentleman named only Will B. Help me.
Have not had a chance to meet Will, so I haven't had a chance to get his last name.
Well, we'll also thank Ryan Doyle, and I'm sure that someone will tell us who Will's last name is at some point, hopefully. Please. We look silly. But our crew here at FATV does a tremendous job bringing you the sights and sounds every game that we're able to cover, and we are so thankful to them for being here, as well as to you folks for putting up with us. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bullock, as we come to you high above historic Crocker Field in, I must say, my favorite press box of all the ones that we work with, Dan. This is pretty much perfect, honestly.
Yeah, I've worked in a number of press boxes over the years. Some are worse than others. Many are worse than this one.
We'll be in a worse one tomorrow.
That is true.
Just about ready to get back to live action.
Schwang ready to kick it away. He's able to boot that down to the 21-yard line. It will be taken in by Jonathan Torres. Torres gets to the 25-yard line, and it'll be wrapped up there. Raiders will have the ball back with 5:10 to go in the third quarter. While we have a moment, let's thank our FATV underwriters. Well, we'll thank our FATV underwriters later.
They are very important.
You see, it only works when you throw to them.
Of course. All right. We'll test that hypothesis. I will throw to them next time. Next opportunity.
Ball's at the 27-yard line, a 6-yard return. Raiders will try to march 73 yards. Start with 1st and 10. Jerome Best is back on the field. Legs are feeling all right. Cutler will go in motion. Fake the handoff to him. Best will take it out to the left side numbers at the 30, 35, and finally sent out of bounds there, but a good explosive run for Best on 1st down.
It's as if Jerome Best wanted to prove that his legs are feeling all right. There have been times where you see a quarterback leave with a leg injury and he comes back, but he doesn't have the same mobility. This time Jerome Best takes the snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. We've said it a couple of times, the quarterback is the best playmaker the Red Raiders have. You don't want him to carry it all the time, but every once in a while he shows you what he can do. And this time he gets a 1st down. Put
the pedal to the floor, went through the gears, checked to make sure the transmission's working all right. And everything's gone wrong on that.
It was a fumble on the handoff. I think the official indication is that the ball carrier was down, which would be a massive break for Fitchburg. I don't think Jacoby Cutler ever had the ball. The Charters explaining to Paul DiGeronimo. Take another look at this one. There's a handoff. Cutler never has it right there. Cutler might have had the ball.
1st down.
Maybe Cutler had it and then lost it again. I don't think he ever had possession, Dan.
Didn't look great, but, you know, once you ring that bell, you can't unring it. And they'll spot the ball at the 37-yard line. It's only going to be a 1-yard loss, I think. Or, no, they just wipe the play out entirely. That's what they're doing.
Inadvertent whistle, they'll go again. 1st and 10 for Fitchburg.
Best will go to the right side. He's going to find some space to throw. Throws. Lashua trying to haul that in. He's done so quite brilliantly, I might add.
How? How does Cole Lashua make this catch? I saw Cole Lashua make that catch, and I cannot believe Cole Lashua made that catch. We're going to see Cole Lashua make this catch again. Best very nearly gets up to the line of scrimmage. Lashua reaches behind a defender, left-handed, hauls the ball into his chest, and retains possession. I just described Cole Lashua making that catch, and I can't believe Cole Lashua made that catch.
Pretty spectacular catch there for Cole Lashua, 15 yards. Here's Jonathan Torres. Cuts up the middle, found a little bit of space, closed up quickly enough, but he's able to get to the 44-yard line. It's a 4-yard gain. I will say the Raiders have made some pretty memorable plays tonight.
We're supposed to talk about a 5-yard run up the middle. We're just talking about Cole Lashua making that catch. All right. Okay. Everybody calm down. It's a good game for the Red Raiders.
Ball at the 44-yard line after the 4-yard gain. Raiders closing in on 100 yards of offense on the contest. 28 plays for 91 yards tonight. Best talks with his back and John Hartwell Cormier. Man in motion. It will be Best keeping himself. And now he tries to circle back. Everything's gone wrong there as all the Griffins were in pursuit. Best throws the ball to the floor in disgust as the loss sends the Raiders back several yards.
They fake the jet sweep, then Best keeps it himself. There's nothing developing this way, and the instinct as a ball carrier, especially one whose team is losing, is you try to make something happen. But as soon as Best spun around and reversed field, that play was even more doomed than it had previously been. Try to make everything happen.
It's an 8-yard loss. brings the ball back to the Raider 48-yard line. Have to get to the Griffins 38 for a first down. It's 3rd and 14 as Laguerre goes in motion. Best will throw out to Laguerre. Laguerre makes the catch, and he's immediately taken to the ground. Looks like Griffin Morales was able to make that tackle. It's only a 1-yard gain for Laguerre.
Best doesn't get a lot of velocity behind this short pass. It just kind of floats up there. Laguerre's able to go up and get it, but by the time it comes down to him, Morales has adjusted and is able to make the tackle. Lasher was on to kick it away.
Ultimately, the 15-yard tremendous reception goes for naught. That ball is live, as it could not be cleanly handled. Stepping up there, trying to haul that one in, was Andre Restrepo. He's only going to be able to get it a couple of yards forward.
All right, this is the last time I'm going to call it out, but while we have a moment, let's take a look one more time at this absolutely ridiculous catch. Another angle as Lashua reaches behind the defender with his left hand to haul that ball in. A frankly ridiculous bit of athleticism from Cole Lashua.
He already shows a lot of height and poise, and he is just a freshman, too.
Many young building blocks that this Fitchburg Red Raider team has as they try to not only keep this game competitive, but rebuild this program a little bit.
Rosa goes in motion, will take the ball on first down as he comes to the near side. Best is just going to go low and take him to the ground there at the 35-yard line.
Stop the clock, move the chains. It's another first down for Greater Lowell Tech. They have gotten a bit more expansive with their play calling in this second half. Again, no Cam Rye, no JV and Lazoo. No Jamie Cirillo either.
They've been changing it up a little bit.
I think they're going to change ends here as we will reach the end of the third quarter. And Dan, let's put your hypothesis to the test. I will handle this throw. As we reach the end of the third period, we here at Fitchburg Access Television would like to take a moment to thank our underwriters who make this and every remote broadcast possible here on FATV.
Fitchburg Access Television's remote productions are brought to you in part by Rollstone Bank and Trust, Acme Carpet One, All One Credit Union, The Sentinel and Enterprise, Minuteman Press, and Unitil.
Just about ready to start the fourth quarter of action here from historic Crocker Field. The Griffins of Greater Lowell Tech lead the Red Raiders of Fitchburg by a score of 20-6. I'm John Gogarty, joined by Dan Bullock. We've just proven that I and I alone hold the powers of summoning the underwriters, which with great power comes great responsibility.
That's some wonderful athleticism there.
Very nice moves by the Fitchburg High cheerleading squad. It is a beautiful night for football here at historic Crocker Field. If you're in the area, we encourage you to come on down and enjoy the final 12 minutes of action. And if you're not, of course, you can enjoy FATV's coverage of Fitchburg High football from, just about anywhere in the world. Go to fatv.org/watch-FATV to find out all the ways you can watch FATV.
I know we have some Greater Lowell fans tuning in. Hello, Griffins fans.
We haven't been too biased. Much. Fourth down begins with a handoff straight up the middle. Not much doing there for Jack Caravoulias. Junior gets maybe a yard. He'll set up second down and 9 for Greater Lowell Tech.
This has been an opportunity for Shane Abrams and his team to really try out some different personnel, because really in the first half we saw basically just 3 players get just about all of the offensive touches of the ball.
None of those players are on the field at the moment for Greater Lowell Tech.
Two of those players have left this game with obvious injuries.
Brody Marvin, the junior, has taken over at quarterback. He has Karavulius to his right. Karavulius will get the carry on second down, shoves down one tackle, runs through a second, plunges ahead to about the 43-yard line. Gain of 7 for him will set up 3rd down and 2. Good, tough running there by the junior running back, Jack Karavulius.
I know one of the lessons I think the Raiders really want to take away, especially from this particular play, is you've got to complete the tackle. Do not assume that one person's got him wrapped. Okay, so that tackle is going to be complete right then and there. There's still work to do. You want to finish the job because you never know when you have a running back who can escape and then get extra yards. That should have probably been stopped for 2 yards. It goes for 8 instead.
Red Raiders bringing the heat on 3rd down. Karavulius can't get away from it. He gets back to the line of scrimmage no further. John Hartwell Cormier hit him first. Cassiano Pedroza hit him last. Throw a dart at the Red Raiders starting defense, hit him in the middle.
And that was the Raiders learning lesson immediately.
Samaj Young was in there for Fitchburg as well.
So many Raiders in on that one. Held Karavulius to no gain. And now it's 4th and a yard to go.
4th and 1, you're up by 2 scores, under 10 minutes to play. First down here doesn't quite seal the game, but with the way your defense has been able to contain Fitchburg's offense, I really like the decision by Shane Abrams to go for this. Motion to the far side, Raiders indicating the pressure, and they jump. There is movement on the offensive line as well.
Before the snap, encroachment, defense.
But it's encroachment against Fitchburg.
Results of the penalty is a 1st down.
To the naked eye, Dan, that was the right call. We'll take a look at it again. I think it's the Raiders who jumped first, and then the right guard moved. It was very close, but I think that's the correct call.
It's hard to really see it any other way. It was close, but I think it was the Raiders jumping over the line first.
So 4th and 1 becomes 1st and 10 without Greater Lowell Tech having to do anything about it. Clock continues to run. It'll be under 9 minutes before the Griffins snap this ball. 1st and 10 for them at their own 49-yard line. Karavulius takes the handoff, dodges a tackle, breaks through a couple more. He's into Fitchburg territory. Mark him down at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 Griffins. Nothing fancy there by Jack Karavulius. Just a simple dive up the middle. He dodges a couple tackles, he plows through a couple, gets 5 yards out of it.
Karavulius has basically become the number 2 running back. He's now got 7 carries for 32 yards in this contest. Jamie Cirillo, 17 for 120 in 2 of the 3 touchdowns.
2nd down, fake the jet sweep, handoff goes to Karavulius. This time he gets a yard and no more than that before he's brought down. Josh Lamboy and Samaj Young leading the assault for the Red Raiders.
Holds him to a gain of nothing.
It was a very slow developing handoff. Gave time for Lamboy and Young to get into the backfield. Brought down Karavulius after a gain of just a yard.
For this Greater Lowell team, it may be by necessity, but this has been a game where they've really been exploring what kind of depth they really have at their disposal. What do they have besides the big gunners?
Without their starting quarterback, without their starting running back, without their best receiver, the Griffins are moving the ball. Karavulius on 3rd down gets a 1st down and more. He's across the 35, brought down at the 33-yard line. Big gain for him. Call it 12 yards, and most importantly, move the chains. Griffins retain possession, and they will burn more clock.
It's been such a challenge there for the Raiders. Greater Lowell has been able to convert on these 3rd down situations, now 6 for 8 in the contest.
Jonathan Torres, Gabriel Ortiz eventually able to bring him down, but not before he was well into the 2nd level. There's 7 minutes to play here. Both of these teams looking for their first win on the young season. Karavoulias gets the first down carry. Straight through the middle of the line, keeps his legs churning, gets a couple extra yards. Jack Karavoulias gets to the Fitchburg 27. Gain of 6, it'll be second and, which will give him 7 yards, it'll be second and 3. And again, Dan Karavoulias just running through tackles. He's got a, Basanto Amangagabe is grabbing his face mask and he continues plunging forward.
Karavoulias is 5'10", 195 pounds, plays the line on defense, and he's finally going to take a breather.
And it will be Jamie Cirillo back in, so it looks like it wasn't injury, just coach's decision to take Cirillo out, but he is back in there. Now on 2nd down and 4, and the Raiders again jump. They've had to be very aggressive on defense.
Before the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty. The result is a first down.
It's the second first down on this drive that Greater Lowell has been handed by Fitchburg. The first one came on 4th and 1. This one turns 2nd and 4 into a fresh set for the Griffins. You see, it's not just one guy, Dan. It's 3 different players coming on the blitz, trying to time the snap count. First down handoff goes to the left side, breaking into the second level to the 10 to the 5-yard line is Jamie Cirillo. It's another first down for him. It'll be 1st and goal for the Griffins as they look to put this one away. They go back to that pistol formation with 2 different fullbacks leading the way for Cirillo. He doesn't have to break through a tackle until he's almost to the 10-yard line. He still gets to the 6. 1st and goal, Griffins. Maverick Paquette in the backfield. Paquette gets the carry. He's hit immediately and driven down. Miguel Gonzalez breaking into the offensive backfield there. How deep does your depth chart go? Greater Lowell Tech brings out Maverick Paquette, who we've called a couple of times on defense. But he gets his first carry and loses yardage.
He's the 6th different Griffin to run the football tonight. Running right into Miguel Gonzalez, loses 4 yards.
Both quarterbacks have carried it. 3 different running backs and a guy on a jet sweep. Lots of different ball carriers for the Griffins. 2nd and goal from the 10. Paquette will try again to the left side. Gets a little bit, but he can't break through the second level. Monte Nagabe, among others, able to bring him down. 3rd and goal coming up from the 7. You'd think if they get anything positive, they'd go for it on 4th.
If they trust their kicker, a field goal would make it a 3-score game.
That is true. They were willing to bring out Stephen Chuang for a very long extra point attempt earlier in this game. Longer was that than it would be from here. Chuang had the leg on that, but missed it to the right.
That was from 29 yards. Right now, Greater Lowell is interested in running down as much time as is remaining on the play clock and then taking their first time out.
This has been, even if they don't get any points, this has been a tremendous drive for Greater Lowell Tech. It started in the 3rd quarter and has taken up a big chunk of time. Greater Lowell Tech still has 2 timeouts, as does Fitchburg. Want to remind you folks again that Dan and I, along with the rest of the FATV crew, will be back at it tomorrow afternoon, a 12 noon kickoff from Elliott Field, as the Falcons of Fitchburg return home to play New England College in their first full season back in full-level varsity football.
You had to go back to the early 70s to find the last time the Pilgrims from Henniker, New Hampshire took to the gridiron. I'll tell you, this drive, 11 plays, 69 yards. I have it as 9 minutes and 12 seconds right now.
That is, as the football coaches like to say, good. It is what you want. Griffins are 7 yards away from capping off this impressive drive with a touchdown. Fitchburg needs at least one, probably two more stops to turn them away. 3rd and goal from the 7. Paquette remains the tailback behind Marvin. Back to pass, floats it to the right. Jump ball is swatted away by Jerome Best. Jaden Rosa has a couple of inches at least on Best, but it was Jerome Best with the coverage, able to knock that ball away. Really good defensive work there by the Red Raiders cornerback and quarterback.
One of the more trusted receivers there. Best just watching his man, and when Rosa leaps, Best leaps as well. He was never looking at the ball, but he didn't need to look at the ball for the way he was playing that.
Best didn't even get a hand on it. He was just there as a deterrent, able to convince Rosa not to catch that ball. Bounced off of his hands, fell incomplete. Griffins will bring Cirillo back out, 4th and goal from the 7. You'd be surprised to see them run it here, but Cirillo is talented. Their offensive line is pretty darn good. We'll see what they want to do.
Timeout, Greater Lowell.
What they want to do starts with taking their 2nd timeout of the half. 3:36 to play here in this one. Greater Lowell looking to put this one away.
Greater Lowell, a very large school. One of the, in fact, I believe the largest trade school in all of Massachusetts. In 2023, they had an enrollment of about 2,300 students.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. They're a Division V team because trade schools have conclusively and consistently proven to the MIAA they don't really have a whole lot of a student, but they can't pull from all 2,300 of those kids.
Yeah, it is an atypical student base. I think it would be fair to say.
A large number of students work jobs at trade schools.
That is, after all, kind of what they're learning, among other educational things. It's called a trade school for a reason.
But Greater Lowell, of course, a very large school. Again, they were in the Division V playoffs last year, number 6 seed, lost a high-scoring game to Dedham, 56-37, entered the trade school tournament, the large school section, of course, and lost 28-13 to eventual finalist Whittier, who lost to now 3-time large champion Bay Path. But they weren't the best trade school of the state last year. That was Shawsheen Tech, who won the whole dang thing in Division V.
4th and goal from the 7, floated out to Cirillo, and he will walk in untouched. Touchdown Griffins, the 3rd of the game for Jamie Cirillo, his first through the air. Fitchburg was so concerned with all the receivers, nobody covered the running back. They were looking that way all the way. Brody Marvin stared down his receiver, floats it out to him. Cirillo just walks it in.
Just Marvin's 2nd completion of the contest, and both of them have been touchdowns.
Shuang on to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and good. 3:32 to play in this one. The Griffins have made it a 3-score game. 27-6 is the score. You have to be impressed, Dan, by the work that Greater Lowell Tech has done without their starting quarterback, Cam Rye, without their best receiver, Javian Lazoo. For much of that 3rd and 4th quarter, without Jamie Cirillo. I don't know if they just took him out to protect him. Jaden Rosa is being tended to as well here on the near sideline.
It's been a learning experience tonight for Greater Lowell, mostly out of necessity, just seeing what they've got for depth and who is able to compete. And it's going to be interesting to see how well this translates for the Griffins. Next week, they'll be on the road again. They'll be going out to Lynn to take on Kipp Academy before taking on Bristol Plymouth at home on October the 3rd. Like the Red Raiders, Greater Lowell also has 5 regular season home games and Thanksgiving in the friendly confines of the community of Tingsboro.
And for those curious, Greater Lowell Tech plays Lowell Catholic in the general area of Thanksgiving. See it listed as a Wednesday night game for them. Not horrendously uncommon. Shuang puts a boot through this one. Taken in at about the 18-yard line. Spins out of a couple of tackles and finally dragged down at about the 25. I believe that was Byron Serrano on the return for the Raiders, and indeed it was. Serrano, the sophomore, practically an elder statesman on this team. It's not literally true. There are some juniors and seniors.
Yep, the freshman cohort is the largest by far. 12 seniors, 8 juniors, 12 sophomores, and 24 freshmen make up this 56-player roster for the Red Raiders.
Jerome Best, one of those juniors, will come back out. His first down pass is incomplete. He was looking for Jacoby Cutler. Just trying to set up the screen out into the flat. Pass a little bit short for Cutler. Raiders not terribly likely to make a comeback in this one, but early in the season yet. Want to see what your offense can do. Notice Best is not really moving at 100% as he heads back into the huddle here.
Had an issue with the knee earlier in the contest. Best through the air tonight is 5 for 12 for 61 yards. The Raiders have done better through the air. Only 23 rushing yards on the night.
They'll try to go through the air. A sliding catch here made by Cole Lashua. Flag comes in after and away from the play. So we'll take a look at this one. See what Rip Charters has to say. It's like they're confirming first that it was a catch, and then we'll see what the infraction is.
During the play, we had a cut block on offense. We're going 15 from the end of the catch, and it'll be third down.
So a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play, thanks to a cut block committed by the Red Raiders. Catch counts, but it's not enough for a first down, particularly after the penalty yardage. All told, it'll be third down and 17 for the Red Raiders.
Correction, we are replaying second down. Replaying second down.
Nope, they'll replay second down, so second and 17 now for Fitchburg. Best wants to throw to his right, nothing there. Avoids the rush. He'll take it himself. He's across the 20 to the 25, and he steps out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Good scramble and improvisational work there by Jerome Best. Gets about 10. We'll call it third down and 7 now for Fitchburg.
Really wanted to throw the whole way, was really hoping that he could throw, but eventually determined that nobody was ever going to get open, so he had to just take it himself. Was able to get 10 yards out of it.
Looked left, nothing there. Looked right, nothing there. Took off and scrambled. Signaled to a receiver, couldn't get open. Finally gained a few yards. And now Fitchburg will take their second timeout as they get ready for a third down and 7. Pretty good traveling fandom here from the greater Lowell area. You got Lowell and Tingsboro, Dracut, Dunstable.
Worth noting at Dracut, their athletic director is Tondi Geronimo.
Not an unfamiliar name.
The former head coach here at Fitchburg, brother of Paul.
That's an obscure Christian sect, isn't it? The Brothers of Paul?
Oh,
We don't want to get into their beliefs. Third down and 7 for the Red Raiders. Best looked to his left, now throws it over the middle. Pass is caught, but the ball's on the ground. If Fitchburg has it, it's a first down for them. Officials say stop the clock and move the chains. It is a first down, Red Raiders. Fitchburg fell on that fumble. Now there are players from either side slow to get up, coming out of it. Jonathan Torres for the Red Raiders. Brian De Arrojo for the Griffins. De Arrojo will head to the sideline. Maverick Paquette will replace him. Take a look at the end of this play. Torres made the catch and then lost the ball. Everybody involved in the tackle just kind of went to the turf, so it rolled for a while before finally being fallen on by Fitchburg. First down for the Red Raiders at their own 45. Best pumps, throws to the near side. Pass is caught by Torres, and he is hit immediately. It was Darian Auk with the tackle. Torres a little bit hobbled after that. See, Best wanted to throw it quicker than that, but he pumped, didn't like it immediately, then got it out to Torres. Torres took a whack, but was able to hang on to the ball.
Kind of impressive he was able to find that window there to get it into Torres with the great coverage there from Auk and Morales.
Gain of a couple for him. It's second down and 8. 2 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Fake the handoff. Best will keep it himself. Sidesteps the tackle at the 40, dodges another, and then is swarmed by a flock of Griffins. And a flag comes in well after the play. Some pushing and shoving and dinner reservations being exchanged. Guys are like, hey, do you want to go to Slattery's? And they're like, yeah, we got a long trip. There's a Dunkin' across the street. We might just do that. And it's like, no, come on, let's have
At the end of the play, we had a personal foul, unsportsmanlike on the white. We're going to go 15 yards from the end of the play. First down. That's number 88's first towards ejection.
Brian Abreu is the guilty party. Some unsportsmanlike conduct. See him at the end of the play there, looking to the official as if to say, what did I do? So Fitchburg gets 15 yards. Raiders are not really playing as though they intend to try to score 3 times here before the end of this game, but they do want to get into the end zone at least once. They scored 1 touchdown in their first game. If they were able to score 2 in their second and then keep doubling, watch out. Best, plenty of time, throws it long over the middle, passes incomplete. He wanted to find Lashua. He very nearly found Andre Restrepo. Instead, the ball finds the turf.
The way that Lashua reached out there, it almost felt like he was doing more to break up that pass as opposed to haul it in, because Restrepo really had a better look at it.
Yeah, Lashua was able to get his hand in there, tip it away. Restrepo was running under it as though he was the intended receiver. I heard someone, and I won't say who if it turns out to be a bad prediction, but I heard someone throw a D1 prediction on Cole Lashua. And that someone is now aggressively nodding, having heard me say that. Best under pressure, steps up, gets across the 40 to the 38-yard line. It's a gain of about 6 for him. It'll be 3rd and 4 as we approach 1 minute to go. Fitchburg does have 1 timeout left. Jerome Best not exactly in a major hurry. As he reads his play sheet, takes the call back to the huddle. As we get set for 3rd down and 5.
So from the 38-yard line, it's 3rd and 5.
4 receivers. John Hartwell Cormier is the running back. His Best is in a very shallow pistol, and now he'll back up to the normal one. Under pressure, rolls left, slips and falls. Was trying to reverse field. A flag comes in, a second flag comes in late. I didn't see any hits really on Best after he went down, but
After the play, personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct on number 5, 15 yards. Bring up 4th down.
They're going to call best for unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. We'll take a look at it here. He reverses field, gets tackled. Oh, he got pushed a little bit, got frustrated, and threw the ball into the face mask of Maverick Paquette. And that, in my opinion, and I am editorializing here, was the correct call, and he shouldn't have done that, and he should be yelled at and scolded. So, consider yourself yelled at and scolded, Jerome, but I think Coach DiGeronimo will have some more of that to come.
It is 4th and 28, and with 10 seconds left, the Raiders are looking to go for it.
Why not? Best back to pass, under pressure, steps up, just heaves it downfield. Lasher was there, plenty of folks there. As is typical with a Hail Mary, there are 6 different things that you could call pass interference, but it's the final play of a 3-score win, so let's not do any of those and instead call it 27-6, the final score. Greater Lowell Tech comes to Crocker Field and leaves with their first win of the season. And this game looked very close and imminently winnable for the Red Raiders at halftime. You wouldn't exactly call them favorites, but was 13-6. And Fitchburg really did not look like scoring for the entire second half.
Yeah, it really felt like sometimes for the Raiders, it took spectacular plays to really move the ball downfield. And at that point, you're sort of at the mercy of how often you can get those spectacular plays. And they just weren't coming consistently enough, and your beaten potatoes plays just weren't really working.
And it certainly doesn't help Fitchburg's cause when Greater Lowell Tech's able to sneak in a 9-10 minute drive, straddling the end of the 3rd quarter and much of the 4th to really salt this one away.
Definitely made things challenging for Greater Lowell. They were able to show in the second half that they've got more than just those 3 players who they were relying on so much in the first 24. Greater Lowell finishes with 328 yards of offense. Fitchburg finishes with 113 yards of offense in the contest. But yeah, at the end, that 13-play, 76-yard drive in 9 minutes and 21 seconds, really putting it away. For Greater Lowell, they scored in each of the 4 quarters. For their total of 27, the Raiders got that sneak from Jerome Best from 2 yards out to get on the board and make it close. It was 7-6, but there were a lot of very interesting plays in this contest. Even the second half started with the Raiders recovering that kickoff, but they just weren't able to make anything work with it. And I think the point where the game really felt over was this catch here. Nathan Norman, the only time we say his name all night long is when he is the beneficiary of a very long touchdown pass.
Norman with that big catch and run. And this play, just one of the more ridiculous catches you will ever see by Cole Lashua. Really the offensive highlight of the night for the Red Raiders.
There were a couple of really good catches in this contest, but Lashua's there was the cream of the crop. See Jerome Best with a good pass breakup there to extend the opportunities for the Raiders. They were hoping to get a stop here. They'd gotten a stop in the first half deep in the red zone, but on 4th down, they were able to get that throw out there.
Jamie Cirillo with his 3rd touchdown of the game, that one through the air. He had 2 more on the ground in the first half. Tremendous game for him. Obviously for Greater Lowell, we hope the best for Cam Rye, JV and Lazoo. They will take on KIPP Academy on next Friday, September the 26th. Fitchburg will be at Lunenburg on the 26th.
It'll be a couple of games on the road for the Raiders, or they'll be back at home on October the 10th, taking on Neshoba for the first of a 4-game homestand.
Neshoba, Marlboro, Monument Mountain, and Sharon.
Yes, a couple of very new opponents coming into Crocker Field, one of whom was only confirmed a few weeks ago.
It'll be fun. plenty of games coming up for the Red Raiders here at Crocker Field. And, of course, Dan and I and the FATV crew will be at Elliott Field tomorrow for a 12 noon kickoff. The Falcons of Fitchburg host the Pilgrims of New England College. But that is tomorrow. And for tonight, on behalf of the entire FATV crew and my partner Dan Bolak, I'm John Gugerty saying thank you so much for being here with us, folks. And we will see you next time right here on FATV.